That great big meteor is getting closer, but so is Sierra's solution. Outpost will be one of very few products ever to base a space strategy game around factual science. This hard science fiction game will let you continue the species after the Earth's destruction by creating a space ark capable of transporting a few humans to a distant star system and building a colony. An interactive demo of the game in progress has now been released, so it's time to take a closer look at the most ambitious strategy game ever to miss a release date. And the first stage of the game will involve sending out long-range probes. Somewhere out there's a planet you can use, but first you have to find it. The odds of finding an Earth-type planet are extremely long, so you'll probably have to settle for a rock that's about as inviting as Tammy Faye Baker on a bad hair day. If you want to know more about this phase of the game, you'll have to wait for the full release version. Once you've found somewhere to go, you'll have to build a way to get there. Your mothership will have to include all the equipment necessary to build your colony, sustain it for a while, and defend it from stellar badness like meteor showers. On top of everything else, you'll have to save room for some colonists. Once it's put together, somebody's got to operate all this crap. The demo bypassed this stage of the game as well, skipping straight to the construction of the colony. Here's where the demo kicks in. Once your mothership arrives in orbit around the chosen planet, it launches a seed factory to begin construction of your new home. In the full game, you'll have a choice of 3 landing sites, but the demo is limited to 1. Mineral deposits in your area are indicated by red dots on the overhead map. Anyone who has ever played a resource management game knows to build where supplies are plentiful, so I landed within spitting distance of a prospective mining site. A couple of turns after the seed factory lands, it generates a command control station. Think of it as a futuristic city hall. This will be the focal point of your colony. Clicking on this structure will generate a report of how your colony is doing once you have a colony to report on. At this point, you can send out robo-dozers to make nice flat places to put buildings on, robo-diggers to carve underground tunnels in which you can place structures too delicate for the planetary surface, and robo-miners to capitalize on all that wonderful ore waiting to be depleted. Traditionally, strategy games have never been at the forefront of graphic beauty. In this respect, Outpost will be a true pioneer. It's not even finished yet, and it sports the best 3D studio-rendered ships, droids, and structures I've ever seen. The final version promises to have even more ships and oodles of eye-popping animation. Maybe other publishers should take a tip from Sierra and start putting out CD-ROM games that run under Windows with high-resolution graphics. Usually when a game's visuals are this impressive, I begin to worry that the designers may have forgotten to put a game around them. In the case of Outpost, though, the game is so huge I just hope all its parts come together into a playable whole game. A few turns later, it's time to do some building. I made a smelter to turn ore from my soon-to-be mine into usable stuff, deployed a robo-digger to create an underground level, installed a solar power receiver because electricity is good, and created a chat facility which produces breathable air that is pumped through all your colony's structures. Not long after that, my mine was established and I constructed a sewage treatment center and an agricultural dome to produce food. Maybe now I should build a place for people to live. Some structures are too frail to be built on the surface, so you must wait for your robo-digger to hollow out an underground level. The demo was limited to only 1 subterranean level, but more will be included eventually. Here I built 2 residential structures, a lab for the sake of science, and a factory to produce luxury goods. There's not much for colonists to do on this rock, so some bowling shoes and some whoopee cushions will be needed to keep morale up. Same as on Earth, if they don't like you, they won't want to work for you. Pesky damn humans. Like in SimCity 2000, some structures become a sort of self-contained simulation. A good example of this is the factory. Once it starts producing, you must give it consistent attention, telling it what to produce, making sure it is well stocked with resources, repairing damage, and performing other sim-like tweakings. This dynamic model was not fully in place in the demo, but it's little details like that keep me squirming in my seat until the day the full game hits the shelves. Remember I told you that the command control station could generate a report of your outpost's condition? Well, here it is. In a simulation that is as complicated as Outpost promises to be, you're gonna need reports, and lots of them. I was disappointed to find out that the demo doesn't really allow the colony to change and evolve. No matter how many residences I built, no matter how many luxury items I stockpiled, my population and morale stayed the same. I guess that's why the disc I was toying with is called a demo instead of a game. The demo only lets you play for 50 turns. After that, a large meteor that doesn't give a tinker's damn about the future of mankind comes along and turns your beautiful colony into so much space mush. Had you been playing the full game, you could have prevented this by including a meteor defense satellite in your mothership. It's just as well, though, since after you place all the structures available, there's really nothing you can do. This demo is a real tease. It almost lets you play the game but backs off at the last minute. I loved everything the demo allowed me to do, and now I'm more desperate than ever to play the full version. Come on, Sierra, get it out the door. I'm starting to get hot flashes here. Everything of Outpost I've seen so far looks phenomenal. I just hope the game doesn't crumble under its own weight. Woody Allen once said, "I've got all the little details worked out. Now if I can just come up with the main points, I'll really have something." If Sierra pulls this one off, if all of Outpost's features gel into a solid game, we'll be looking at a true masterpiece, a game with the potential to totally redefine its genre. Until that judgment day, I'll be keeping an ear to the ground and an eye to the stars.